All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our one team call Sunday night. We're just going to dive right into this because of timing here. And we're so excited for this call to bring back some knowledge and information that is just blown us away this weekend. Why don't we just dive right in and not waste any time?
Yeah. So, first off, I would like to recognize Josh and Lisa. Really, it's exciting and humbling to me to have, my sponsors at the top and in front of the room, meeting and greeting with Eric Worre. It was just an incredible weekend, and it's crazy when Eric Worre started kind of going through the numbers in the industry, right? And you realize that these are two incredible people who are literally, at the top of our company. And, to be candid, when I was sitting there in the audience, I was grateful to be there, but I'm just like, why did I not do, 4 more enrollments to meet Eric Worre? And I think that's like the big focus for me for the Influencer Summit. Was really that kick in the butt and those really hard conversations that are sometimes really hard to have, right? And for me, it was a big reminder of that I've been playing small, and I've been doing a huge disservice to myself, to my family, to my team members. So I'm excited to kick it up a notch and to take this information and this blueprint and truly run with the people that are looking to do this. And, I just wanted to start because there were a lot of great stats and numbers that Eric had shared with us. But, for those of you on the call, for anyone who's enrolled 10 people as a network marketer in their Isogenics business, Eric Worre defines that as a super recruiter. So if you enrolled 10 people, then congrats, because you're actually 2% of network marketers who have the ability to enroll 10 people. And that was a really powerful number to me, because I think we have, so many incredible super recruiters, within our team and community. But the kind of the next step and the next leap that Eric really went into is being that influencer. And that's truly, and Josh is going to go into this, and Lisa, where it hit me and realized, again, where I'm playing small and that I know I'm not being the true influencer that I'm capable of being. And so that's what we're the most excited about today, is just to start sharing that information and really taking 2018 to the next level.
Awesome, Jen. Thank you so much for those kind words. We are
Thank you, Jen.
So honored and blessed that we have such amazing leaders like yourself on the team. You are a true influencer, and like Jen said, we got slapped in the face this weekend. We understand that we need to play so much bigger in this world to make the impact that we all desire to make. So I want to back up a little bit and just let you know what this summit was. So the Influencer Summit was for any Isogenics associate that reached the rank of 3-star Golden Circle, which means paid as executive, and they earned a seat in that room if you were paid as executive and you reached the rank of 3-star. And congratulations, Jen, you've done an amazing job this year.
Awesome.
So awesome. And then there was an added bonus where if you could, enroll a certain number of people, you could get into a tiered prize category. So, I'm sorry. You could get into a tiered prize category. So the there was a few different criteria, and it was all really cash based. But then if you were to enroll 20 or more during the time period, you got that, extra special treatment and the meet and greet with Eric Worre and the Cougars. And let me tell you, doing that extra push was so worth it. And, there was 21 of us in a room with Eric Worre and the Cougars and all of the corporate staff. And we literally had conversations with every single one of them, and they stayed for a while. I mean, we got to really get to know them and have that one-on-one time with them, which was amazing. Meet Eric Worre's wife, and then inside the room as well, they gave us some extra great swag and special treatment, but we got into the room and our seats were front and center, and we kind of looked at each other and went, whoa. I can't read that. We were so excited that we were front and center to see Eric Roy. Literally, he was in our faces the entire time. And that was the most intense feeling to not only, you know, earn our way into that room, but to sit there and just be able to be that great, that close to greatness. And boy, did he deliver. This summit was unreal. And it really hit us that we will never, ever play small again. And we will never not strive to be in that front row every single time, because we got so much from that, and all the other great leaders that were in the room that we got to spend real quality time with. You know, not like at celebration or New Year kickoff where we get like, hey, how you doing? And there's so many people that you really don't have that concentrated time. And these were top leaders in the room, and you know, the playing field is level. You know, when you're in a room like that, everybody is there to learn. Everybody is there to soak up the greatness. And there was no egos in that room. It was really amazing and humbling and so such a blessing. It was really, really amazing. I want to hand the time over to Josh to give you a good overview of what we went through. He crammed, what was it, 7 days into this 2-day period. So there's no way we can give you everything, but rest assured this year, you're going to get some amazing stuff from us as leaders. We're going to pour it all out onto you. And I want to give Josh another kudos for the way he's showing up and you know, being a servant leader. I'm honored to be by his side. I'm honored that we get to do this together, and I'm honored that we are deciding every single day to play big and make this, starting now, not this year, this December, the best December ever, and 2018, life-changing.
Absolutely. Thank you, honey. Thank you, Jen. Sorry, feel too louder. I realized that I've been playing at 10%, if that, of my potential. And it sounds funny because we're up in front of the room, and I didn't say that out loud until we got into groups. And we did a hardcore training this weekend. You know, we're training with Jay Bennett and Susan Sly, and Jennifer Trinker was in our group. And, you know, these multiple not you know, 7-figure earners, but multiple 7-figure yearly millionaires, you know, they earn this annually, and they have the same exact fears that we do. They have confidence issues. They have, you know, they're worried about being judged. It's like they are the same people. You know, some of us, I'll speak for myself, put them up. Oh, they're on stage. They're making multiple 7 figures a year, or 7 figures a year, or whatnot, high 6 figures. They must have it down. Let me tell you something. They don't. There's no script. They work at this every single day. They've been practicing. That's the difference. Like, I used to think my 30-second story, oh, I practice on people, and that's good. That's not practice. Eric Worre, I think you just said, Jen, you know, slapped us in the face. We've got to treat this like a business. And he called people out, and I loved it because I got real with myself and realized we've been playing so small. When we met him that night, he looked at me. He asked me what I was earning. Okay, and he did this in front of the room with some people because, listen, we're all in this together. And he said, "Why aren't you a millionaire?" And I said, "Well, I'm not yet." You know, and he said, "Well, let's get you there." When Eric Roy looks at you and says, "Let's get you there," it's like, I can do this. Okay. Anybody can do this, right? Anybody can do this. Eric Hoover gave me a cell phone number. I'm like, what is this, right? These people don't have to, the rest of the world, most of the world doesn't function like this. It was so nice. Eric Hoover was so humbling. I want to squeeze him and kiss him. We're going to be talking this week about some stuff. And he just offered, right? So this is the company that we have. We got to tour the office. I won't get off track with that. The corporate office made me, I'll speak for myself, but I think I'll speak for you and the others that were there, so proud to have this corporate vehicle behind us and this team. The people at corporate that gave us the tour, they are just as much emotionally and passionately committed to making Isogenics great. They're W-2 employees. They don't have to come with that feeling. They get a paycheck, but they do because they're proud. So
Unreal.
it's completely unreal. And I have 2 notebooks full of
3.
information that what basically happened this weekend. Kathy and Eric gave us a map to get to our goals. So I'm going to ask every single one of you right now on your piece of paper, write down what your goal is, your financial goal for 2018. Write down the number you want to make. This is no joke. You write down that number, and I will show you something that's changed me. It's changed everybody in that room, I think. So once you have, I'm going to give another 15 seconds. Just write a number down.
What you want to make this year.
What you want to make in 2018. And now what I want you to do is double it. Double that number. This separates the playing small from the playing big. And Eric proved this in trainings that we can't talk about right now. Prove this. We have a roadmap that we're going to be doing to show us how. 6 years, Lisa and I have been involved. You've been involved with different numbers. JoJo's been involved for different numbers of time, years of time. Enough is enough. Eric Worre said to me, he said, it is just as painful to do this slowly than it is to do it fast. Why do this slow anymore? Now, some of you may say, I'm not ready to do this fast. That's completely fine. That's up to you. All we're doing is right now, and what we're going to be doing this next week, is showing the people that are sick and tired of going at this idle speed and ready to hit this. And to get that to that number you just wrote down in your paper, he has a way to make that happen, right? And he showed us, we're not going to talk about that tonight, but that can absolutely happen. Whatever your number is, if you're willing to change some things, if you're willing to change some of our habits, if I'm willing to change it, hell yeah, I'm willing to change because I'm ready for this. And I've been using my clinic as an excuse, I realized. My clinic has been an excuse. I don't like to make excuses to people, but in my head, it's been holding me back. I love taking care of people, but I don't love what I'm doing in there running that place. I have a goal and a vision of that, but it's been my excuse and holding me back. I should be having many more conversations during the day that I'm doing. So that's on me. Right now, I want to jump into being an influencer. We all need to be influencers if we're going to win at this game. We all need to create and enable influencers on our team. But you can't build or create influencers on your team unless you are an influencer yourself. The biggest message here is you got to walk the walk. You cannot ask someone to do something that you don't do. And I don't think we've ever done that. We plug in and we do the stuff we ask people to do. Influencers are rare. It's not common to be an influencer. And everyone on here either is or has the potential of being an influencer. You know yourself if you are, because I'm going to go with the definition. Influencers are rare. They're highly paid. Okay. Someone stood up, and I'm not going to call them out, and they're very raw with the whole room. This person is they've made $1 million in Isogenics. Their income has gone down to about $150,000 a year. Okay. And having some trouble. And I will tell you that $150,000 a year is still the top 1% of this 1% of the world. So, and Eric called it out. I said, listen, brother, I know we're going to talk about the issues right now, but understand $150,000 is the top 1% of this world. How crazy is that? What is that? 2 to 3 star? Just over 3 star, at the beginning of 3 star, around there. You can do the numbers, but right? It's so attainable to be the top 1%. So influencers are rare, they're highly paid, and they're long-term. Influencers are people you want to follow. Influencers are people that I'm following, my mentors, right? They are the people that I want to model after. It's the most valuable thing in network marketing. Influencers are independent. Okay, here's the definition of independence. If you want to be independent people, here's right now how you know if you're independent and if you can be an influencer right now. Independence means that you don't need any help. You don't need any help. Doesn't mean you don't collaborate. Doesn't mean you don't go to Paul. I go to Paul because Paul has some strengths. That doesn't mean I don't need help. I'm using Paul. I'm talking about you can't figure stuff out. You got to wait till people give you something. You don't know how to look in the back office, look something up. That's different than collaborating and using other people's strengths. Independent people solve problems. They solve problems. Well, no one posted that information on the shake. Well, I'm going to message JoJo. I'm going to message Jen Bennett. I'm going to message Cynthia. No, you go in and you find out where that information is. You solve problems. And influencers that are independent, okay, their mere presence creates action. When they walk into a room, you know they're there. Their energy lights up the room. They're smiling, they're shaking hands, you're introducing yourself to people. Those are influencers. So remember, you gotta be independent, you gotta solve problems, and we want our energy to change, to be that person that people wanna be around. So we need to be an influencer first. Here's an interesting fact. All the top millionaires were in the company. The top performers were really in that room this week. And what Eric Worre asked was, how many influencers do you have on your team? He went to all the 7-figure earners. And guess what? The average in the industry are 25 influencers. So in order for these 7-figure income earners to be making that money, they have an average of 25 influencers on their team. Some of these people have teams of 200,000 people, 50,000 people, 40,000 people. But they had 25 influencers. So what does that mean? We need to step up and be influencers first and teach others what to do. That's really where this thing explodes. And some people are really, really good at it, and some people have to work at it. But it is something that we can all achieve, no question. Let's talk about this. I loved how raw and real, and I think Jen, you'll agree, and Lisa will agree. He doesn't BS. A lot of people like to have the fluff. They like to have the feel good, and that's important to a point. But I find that people get lost in that. Eric Worre finds that people get lost in the development, the personal growth. I'm just going to read one more bit before I talk to someone. I'm going to go to another self-development course before I talk to someone. Those are very important, but they're also been used as excuses. And how we know that we're not an influencer is if we're irritated that we're not getting anywhere because of other people. We blame our upline, we blame our downline, we blame the sideline, we blame the company. We're complaining about people, we're starting problems, we have the negative talk, right? You know who those people are. Those people are not leaders, those people are not influencers, right? And I look back on my life and the things that I'm changing now because I know where I want to be and I know how to get there now. We have a map. Eric and Kathy gave us a map to get to our goals. That's why I said, write down what you want to make in 2018. You double it, and then we'll talk about it, how we're going to get there. But this isn't pie in the sky. This isn't, it'd be great if it happened to me. We're in groups with people that went from 0 to 2 stars, 0 to 3 stars, 0 to 4 star in less than a year. And they don't have any more. They weren't born with anything more than we were born with. It doesn't have to do with their school education. It doesn't have to do with anything but a decision. Eric Worre said, why are you not a millionaire? Because it's a decision. You've made a decision not to be. That's truly what it is. I realized that this weekend. And everybody else in that room realized that the ones that aren't. So we need to release that. We need to release the upline, release your downline, release. And when I say that, obviously we're still working together, but stop making everything else an excuse and look at yourself and give yourself permission to not have been perfect. Give yourself permission to start over and be that person, be the best person that we can be. Gosh, there's so many things that I really want to talk about. It takes work. It takes honesty in ourselves. It takes reflection in ourselves. The biggest problem that we face, the biggest problem that stops us from moving forward is the old programming. We've been programmed since birth to believe certain things. Don't go there. Don't touch that. You're going to get hurt. Oh, don't do that. Don't talk to strangers. You know all that. We've been programmed in every single thing that we do. And we've got to change that mindset. It's very simple. It's very simple. The millionaire mindset is very different, but they all have the same problems that we've had: the self-doubt, the confidence issues, the limited beliefs, and they're getting there because they're practicing. We're going to talk about practice in a second too. But the big message this weekend is that the world is not served with us playing small. It's really not. It's not. When we don't talk to someone, I've just robbed them of an opportunity that can get them out of the 3 jobs, that can put food on the table for their kids, that can give to a charitable organization. Shame on me for not talking to that person. But I thought I had to spew Isagenix all over them. No, you connect with them and you build a relationship. This isn't like, when am I going to say Isagenix? When am I going to say Isagenix? This is like, build a relationship and make that connection. And then you stay in front of them. You know, you have conversations with them. It's so amazing. Like, we go to work to make this so difficult. We don't have to wait and think, when am I going to interject Isagenix? It's just getting to know people. But I'm not playing small anymore. I'm done with that. And I think many of you are probably at that place. I know the entire room was at that place. And you may say, well, 7-figure person in that room playing small. Yeah. And they'll tell you they've been playing small, right? We talked to someone who's a 7-figure earner. She will not get up in front of the room. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it, but she's ready to do that. She's ready to do that. So find influencers in your life, model them. Find people that are doing what you want to do and do what they do. Yeah, we all have, I think. Find that person and model them. Find that person on your Audible, whether it's Jim Rohn or T. Harv Eckert or Dave MacArthur or whoever it is, Tony Robbins. Model them. Soak it up. I want to do, there's so many exercises we want to do, but I really think that this is important, and we won't finish this right now, but the key to breakthrough right here. Gosh, the nuggets in the, oh my goodness, listen, if Isagenix does this again, and Travis told us they're going to do this again, whatever it takes to get in that room, allegedly, whatever it takes to get in that room next year, got to do it. You've got to be in that room. You have to hear this stuff. You can't even teach this stuff. There's no time to teach all of it. We're going to teach a lot of it. But the key to breakthrough, the key to wherever you are in your business, I don't care if you've cycled one time, that's awesome. But how about getting to the place you want to get to at the end of this year? And it's absolutely attainable. The key to breakthrough in you is this. Write this down. I would be more successful in my Isagenix business if. I would be more successful in my Isagenix business if. And this was hard for me. We sat down, we were in groups. Some of the people we knew, we just met. We made friends. In 5 minutes, we became really close with our group. It was amazing. We didn't know them from Adam, or most of them. And all of a sudden, you know, we're being invited over for dinner in 2 minutes in their home and, you know, in different states and whatnot. So I would be more successful in my Isagenix business if, and you're going to write that down. And he gave us some time to write it down. Then we talked about it. We're not going to talk about it today, but I highly suggest you do this maybe after you get off the call or sometime this week, and be honest. Be honest and open with yourself. That's where I figured stuff out, right? I have pain inside myself that's been stopping me from moving forward. I have my clinic as a freaking excuse, which is ridiculous, right? You know, it's ridiculous. When I hear what other people's schedules are like, when I hear what other people are doing, it's like, I am so small compared to them, and I got to stop bitching to myself. Sometimes we say the worst things to ourselves than to other people. All the time. Yeah, you're right. All the time. So, yeah. Do you guys want to? I mean, I have so many things start. I think are so important.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Yeah.
jump in?
One of the key pieces of that, when Josh talked about breakthrough with, you know, I would be more successful in my Isagenix business if. Not only was that a really eye-opening exercise for everybody in the room, but almost everybody in the room had the same struggles. And, you know, there was a lot of common themes, you know, believing in yourself, lack of organization, not attracting influencers, fear of rejection or fear of success, sabotaging yourself, codependence, the, you know, you do it all mantra where, you know, you just tell the people coming in that you're going to take care of everything. And then comparison. Comparison was a killer. And, you know, to be in a room with all different levels of income earners, including the top income earners in the company, for everybody to have these common themes is very telling that, you know, all this is a choice. It's a choice every day to go at it, and everybody struggles with the same good stuff and the same bad stuff, and the universe will try to test you at every angle, especially when you're really going for something. So the the other half of that, you know, is what do I need to do to change my business, to grow my business, and really get in touch with the things that you do on a daily basis. We're going to be rolling out a lot of stuff, but one of the things that hit me really hard was he kind of did a scenario about where we're operating. So if you're operating, you know, here, but you could be operating here, why? Fill in the blank. Why are you not operating here? And then if this is the top of where you could operate, or top of your income level, imagine if that's the bottom, and you can just keep going. I'm going to go like this, but you can just keep going up and keep, you know, moving to that top, and then making that top your bottom and pulling it back up again, and just keep filling in that gap. Part of that is huge on becoming an employee of yourself and managing your work, managing this and treating this for now as your job, and you're your own boss. So you schedule your network marketing hours, and those network marketing hours are sacred and nobody messes with them. You fill out your calendar, and those network marketing hours are in there, and no one comes in there. You schedule everything else too, but you figure out what hours you're going to need to really make a difference in your business, and schedule it all in, and don't let anyone mess with it, because the way that most people treat network marketing is it's the first thing to be flexible, because this is the most forgiving business on the face of the planet. It's also the highest paying business on the face of the planet if we treat it that way. What's up? Just jump in.
No, Lisa, just to add what you're going to say, because that was another big thing that hit me too, is when Eric was talking about the biggest lies in network marketing. And I think, and I know this is something I've been so guilty of, is, you know, I'm so grateful for this industry, right? And this business, because you guys shared this opportunity with me, right? Because Josh happened to open his mouth to Andrew 3.5 years ago. I'm now able to be a stay-at-home mom making a 6-figure income, and I'm so grateful for that. And so we always want to paint the picture of, like, you know, how great things are, and that, you know, why this is a better way. And, you know, I truly believe that this is the better way, and we know we have a better way. But, you know, as we all know, it's not always perfect, right? And there's things that we just have to do that we don't necessarily love. And that was what Eric stressed on. Like, the biggest lie is that, you know, we say you only have to do what you love, and it's not true, right? Like, for us to become influencers, to have this growth, like, we all have to evolve and grow and do, you know, different developmental things that are scary and that push us out of our comfort zone. And so for me, that was, you know, a big reminder, because I'll actually say that only do what you love. Or I'm guilty of saying, you know what, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And Eric's like, of course you can. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, he's right. I totally have dropped the ball on so many potential people. And, you know, but as Lisa said, the beauty of this industry is that it is forgiving, right? And as, you know, Jimmy the Butcher will say, is you can fail 90% of the time and you can still become a millionaire. And those things are true. But, you know, what hit me is, like, what if, you know, I polished myself? What if I practiced my story more? You know, what if I decided to stop playing small, so I will be less likely to say the wrong thing to the right person? And so, you know, for me, these are just, like, all things that were, like, running through my mind. I'm like, I say this, I say that, and, you know, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, there's so many things that I can do. And, you know, just what Josh and Lisa too are saying, like, the people they're surrounded with, there were 2 moms with their babies, right? Like, Abby O'Meal was there, and this other girl, and their babies are like 8 weeks old. And they enrolled 20+ people, and they got to meet Eric Worre, and I'm sitting in the back, and I'm just like, I may choose my excuse, you know, that, like, why did I do that? And it was, I know it was all on me. I know. And again, it's a personal thing, right? It's a competitive thing. And that's really what I think is important too for everyone, you know, wherever you're at. And if you're ready to step into this next phase, There's just, you know, so many great, exciting things that we can all do together if you're ready for that. And I think the big thing too is don't feel bad if it's not your time, right? Like we all have different seasons and phases of life. But I was just, again, really excited to be part of this because I needed this kick to really help me, you know, push forward and to get out of the funk. And that's, I guess, to you know, reiterate the importance of just events in general. So, I mean, I don't know how many people here are going to NYKO, and I don't know if I should ask the question to people to raise their hand who already have tickets for NYKO. Awesome. And, you know, that was a really, not to go off topic, but powerful scenario where Eric had people stand up in the room of like, who already had their tickets for NYKO, who already had their tickets purchased for Celebration, who had their tickets purchased for NYKO and Celebration next year. And he even did an exercise having people stand up of who had been at Celebration up to the past 4 years. And what was really incredible is that even within this room of top performers in the company, that number diminished and diminished and diminished. So, you know, if you're, you know, as a network marketer, if you know, want to play big, the attendance of the events are so important. And, you know, I would argue that you can't build your business if you're not at events and you're not getting your people to the events. And that was another big kicker for me because I don't push that enough, and I don't even invite people like I should invite people and give them the opportunity like, you know, Josh and Lisa and JoJo did for me 3.5 years ago. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have gotten to my first event.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on that note, I just want to give people some numbers based on what you just said. This to me was very telling because a lot of times we're not sure what we should be spending our time on. Here's the formula. We need to be spending 75% of our time on what our strengths are. This is what people have wrong across the board. They're spending time doing things they shouldn't be doing. So here's the formula. Spend 75% of the time on the things that you're strong at, what your strengths are, but you got to practice. You can't just do it on prospects. You got to practice without prospects. That was one of the big messages there. Spend 20% on new things. 20% of the time on new things, maybe new strategies that you have. And then spend 5% of your time on your weaknesses. 5%. Everybody thinks they need to be spending the most amount of time, and that's not right. We were talking about getting stuff done on our lists. Go for the easiest thing first, right? I'm a classic procrastinator, and I look at the hardest thing on there, and I don't do anything. It's still there tomorrow. Oh, it's there Friday. It's there Sunday. I'll do it after Mother's Day, right? Instead of, well, I just got to sit down and make a phone call. I got to cancel the plumber. Boom, done, right?
GSD.
What does that stand for?
Get us done.
Yeah. So 75%, 20%, 5%. Now, we're giving you concepts and ideas, but I want you to know we have an actual map, like an actual, what are we doing starting this week? We have that, and that's what's so beautiful. This isn't, well, this sounds great, but actually what am I going to do? We have the roadmap, okay? And I want to show you something. You know, in my business, I have to look at numbers. We have to look at where we're making money, where we're losing money, how much we spend on advertising. We got to pull money back. You got to look at your P&L sheet. Eric Worre gave us some numbers about our business, which I never even thought about looking at, but it's so true. So when Jen talked about the super recruiter, let me outline what those numbers are so they make more sense, and then I'll show you how you know where your business is going. Because you can't run a business if you don't know where it's going. Some of us, me included, would just be in this blind. I just enroll people and I educate and I talk to them, and yeah, we go to events, but you want to have a mega business, you got to know the numbers. So salespeople, okay, this category is the salespeople on your team, including you. This is our salespeople. 5% of the salespeople recruit, you ready for this? 3 to 5 people throughout their lifetime. These numbers are going to blow you away. We're like, what? So 5% of salespeople in general recruit 3 to 5 people, right? They recruit by accident. Oop, I just bumped into you and recruited you. That's literally what the 5% are. 3% are called sales leaders. 3% of salespeople are sales leaders. They recruit or enroll 6 to 9 people. 6 to 9 people over a career. Over a career. We're like, what? We had to stop him. He had to repeat himself, right? So watch this. And then the 2% that Jen was talking about. I always want to call you Jen Gevy. And that'll never leave.
That's okay. Everyone, Andrew calls me Gevy.
Okay, Gevy. 2% of the sales force are super recruiters. 2% are super recruiters. Those people have enrolled 10 or more over a lifetime. Over a lifetime. If you've enrolled 10 people, you're a super recruiter. Okay? The average are 27 recruits, believe it or not. The average salesperson has recruited 27 people. Think about that. No one on this call is average, right? This is amazing. So knowing that, let's now you can look at your business this way. If 2% of your team are super recruiters, okay, we're going to use that. That 2% is important. If 2% of your team are super recruiters, your growth will be neutral, flat. You'll have no growth in your business. If only 2% of your team are super recruiters. So it's easy. Pull up someone on your blueprint, pull up someone in your back office, find their name, go to Timothy, see how many people they've enrolled. If it's 7, you know who they are. If it's 0, you know who they are. If it's 20, right? If it's 20, he's a super recruiter. So if 2% of your team are super recruiters, you have no growth. If less than 2% of your team are super recruiters, your business is declining. Your business is declining. It's not in upward momentum. Okay? However, here's the good news. You only need 3%. If 3% of your business are super recruiters, you have a solid double-digit earner. Double digits, phenomenal. But it's not where most of us want to be, right? Momentum happens at 4%. You want 4% of your team to be super recruiters. How do we do this? This is what we learned this weekend. It's building leaders. It's building influencers. It's building a team. It's prospecting. It's presenting. It's doing all those things. This is where it comes from. It doesn't come from, oh, I'll make calls tomorrow. Or, I have some powerful people on my team. I'm just going to sit back a little bit. No, it means doing the work. Kathy was asked a question. We were in that small meeting with her, and someone said, well, my parents are involved, and my mother, she says she wants to do it. They're doing home parties and sipping samples. How they're just not doing it. And Kathy said to her, look, or actually Eric said, it's probably not going to happen with them. And that's okay. It's not for everybody. We want to look for people who have that burning desire like you have, like I have. Those are the people you want to lock arms with. It might not be the guy that you think it's going to be. And we have to, the person you want, right? You want it. We want it. He said, what did he say? Don't be in love with potential. Right? Was that what he said, Jess?
Stop falling in love with potential.
Stop falling in love with potential. We all do it. It's like, wow, this person is a superstar in his banking career. He's going to kill this business. Doesn't show up on calls. Doesn't do the things he says he's going to do. It's like
99
we keep 99 BV. We keep pulling them. Right? So the message here is don't be in love with potential. Look, Kathy says, look for those people with a burning desire to make a change. They will follow. They will do the work.
Yeah, and again, this was another slap in the face to me because I'm like, when I was, in the business world and I had a quota, I had numbers and I had to know my numbers. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, shame on me for not having any idea of like any of these numbers that he was drilling down into the business. And I'm like, how can I expect to be earning more money if I don't know these basic numbers? And again, I think for me, it's one of those network marketing myths of, that it takes hard work and that there's things that you truly need to do. And, don't get me wrong, like there's things that can totally happen by showing up and sharing Isagenix with 2 people, right? We know those stories of people who have incredible incomes as a result of that. But again, like if you truly want to be intentional, then there's so many great tools and resources that Isagenix has to make it easy on us too. I think that's the other big thing is that it's easy to find these numbers in these reports, right? It's not easy in all these other companies to necessarily be able to grow and understand your business. So, but it's on us, right? If we want to do it, then no one's telling us we have to do these things, but if we want it, you know, you need to know these things.
Absolutely. One of the things that I thought of when Josh was talking is that Eric Worre rebuilt his business 7 times, and it was because he was in the addition and subtraction business, not the multiplication business. So he would add a couple new people, and then 2 people would drop off. He'd add a couple new people, and 2 people would drop off. And how many of you have businesses like that where, you know, you're moving at a you know, a steady pace, but it's really into the addition and subtraction business, not multiplication. And so he really, you know, nailed down the, you know, bringing in a new class and recruiting, you know, 20 people in 30 days, and how much power and service you're giving to this group versus if you're doing this slowly. And he basically, you know, kind of cut the audience up and said, take the first 2 rows, or take the first row of the audience, and you recruited all those people in 30 days, and all those people come in together, and they're training together, and they're running together, and you're teaching them how to run too, and they all have that momentum together. Versus the second row, first 2 you came in 1 week, next 2 of you came in 2 months later, the other 2 came in a couple weeks later. Where's the momentum? Where's that excitement and you know, goodness? And then he gave us the numbers, and I know that we've talked about these before, but you know what, to be quite honest, it never sunk into me before about the, you know, what the power of 20 and 30 does. Oh, thank you. And we do it, you know, we did it for this summit to earn our way there, but it never sunk in exactly how that really mattered. You know, if you recruit 20 people in 30 days, 12 people will do something. In 90 days, you'll have 8 people left. Just 90 days, 8 people left. How many of you took a year to enroll 8 people? Imagine the numbers there, right? So 20 people, 12 will do something. After 90 days, there's only 8 people left. After a year, there's only 4 people left. And in 5 years, 2 of those people are doing something incredible. So if you can just visualize or imagine doing 20 and 30 every 90 days, because after the 90 days, you only have 8 people left of those 20. So you've got to bring in a new class again. At the end of 5 years, 2, 4, 6, 8, you're going to have 8 rock stars in 5 years. 8 rock stars in your business, that's $1 million a year business or more.
That's it.
And all it is a choice to go after 20 people in 30 days. And we all know it's possible because people do it every day. People do it every month. People know, you know us, we do it. We've done it. It's a choice. And he taught us such an amazing tool of, you know, wonderful, good, positive reinforcement, but also negative reinforcement about peer pressure in a positive sense, peer pressure in a negative sense. How many of you really wish you were in that room right now? And in, you know, even Jen, she wished she was in the front row. There is something amazing about seeing what somebody earned and knowing, oh my God, I could have done that. Why didn't I do it? Just because you chose not to. That's all. Every single person that's on this call and in this team has the exact same starting point. We all started by enrolling. We all started with one cycle. We all fumbled our way through our first enrollment. We all are the same. All that separates us is choice. And we all get that choice, and we can all go for it. And we have some great tools and some, I mean, Josh said roadmap, but I'm going to change that. We have a business plan for the entire year.
For you, for us, for you.
So if you're an influencer, you're a leader, you're a follower, you're a tell me what to doer, and I'll do it. It's set up. Like, this is not a here's your training, here's your notes, go put them on the shelf and improve your shelf. This is here's your plan. All you got to do is choose, because it's all written out for you, and you just have to plug and play. You just have to show up every day for yourself and decide, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make this the year. I'm going to make this the day. I'm going to make this the month. I am going to make something happen this year. And I'm going to make it happen fast because Eric Worre says do it fast. And it makes sense. It finally freaking sunk into my head.
Yes, absolutely. And this hour is flying by. I love everything that you said. I want to end with a couple things. First of all, I want to end with confidence. Who on this call doesn't need a little more, even a little more confidence? I'm going to raise my hand. Right? Okay. We have to be willing. Here's what he said, which again gave me goosebumps. It's giving me goosebumps right now.
Everything did.
Everything did. We have to be willing. Here's the deal. This is a blessing and an opportunity. It's not something you're given. It's something that most people will never have, put it that way. And we have the opportunity to use it or waste it. But in order for us to have our lives change, here's the deal. We must be willing to publicly fail, screw up, mess up, right? It's in front of a person. It's not your world, it's your life. Everybody's done it and everybody will do it again. But in this arena, we're scared to have that conversation. But we must be willing to publicly fail, be embarrassed, and guess what? Be able to handle it. No matter what, just say, look, I screwed up. He told this amazing story I don't have time to tell, but we just handle it. You know, you get up there, he talked about forgetting the words. He just said, listen, I forgot the words to the song. And he handled it. We can handle this, but we've got to be willing. You've got to be willing to talk to people about what you do. So part of what I've dedicated myself is to some of this training. And I'm going to go over some of these trainings, and Jen's going to go over, and Lisa, on how to tell your story. That's incredible. Your 30-second story that's going to make or break some people. How to present. Listen, you all have teams. You want presenters on your team. You don't want to be the only one presenting, right? That is where the rubber meets the road. The one who holds the marker, or the one who holds the mic makes the money, period. Period.
The most money.
The most money. So presentation doesn't mean you're in front of 5,000 people. It means you're talking to Lucy to show her what you do. That's a presentation. So I'm dedicating myself to doing some of that training to help people, if they want it and if they need it, to be better presenters. And I'm working on myself being a better presenter. So we all are in growth, but you want presenters on your team. Let's just bang through confidence. And then I think and this, I'm just going to give you the underlines. We don't have time to go into each category, but here's how we build confidence. 8 keys to building confidence. Crucial. Number 1, study. Watch, read, attend. Watch, read, attend, right? And you can make up the rest of under those notes. Number 2, modeling. Find people that are successful. If you want to be a car mechanic, you go find the best mechanic and you model them. It's the same thing here. Even if you don't know them personally, listen to their audios, watch them on stage, talk with them if you can, whatever, model. That's number 2.
Don't just read their book once.
Yeah, don't just, exactly. You want to study this stuff. You guys, this can set us free. We've got to take this to a higher level if we want something bigger. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen by itself. Number 3 is practice. Must work on the skills, right? Most in network marketing never practice. They don't practice. And I'm guilty. I got down with one of the 7-figure earners to do my 30-second story. Guess what happened? Blech. Diarrhea came out of my mouth. I'm like, I tell my story all the time. I don't even think about it. But when I had to do it, with the light on me in front of her, I totally botched it. And we were both laughing. I'm like, oh my God. But that's because I don't practice, right? Practice, there's a form of practice in front of your prospect, but there's practice in front of the mirror. There's practice with your spouse. There's practice with a friend. That's where Eric Worre said you become excellent and real when you practice like that. That's number 3. Number 4 is performance. Get on the field and perform. Make those calls. Do the napkin presentation. Do a 3-way call, whatever it is. Performance. That's number 4. Number 5 is feedback. Feedback from peers, from family. However, don't let them take your insides from you. You know what I mean? Don't go for feedback from negative people. Don't go from feedback from people that are pushing you down. Go from feedback from people that are lifting you up, and they're going to help you, your peers in that respect. So don't give anybody the keys to destroy what's in the inside of you. Number 6 is improvement. Progress builds confidence, right? How did you become the best at what you do? How do you become a teacher? By being better and better. How do you become an athlete? Better and better, and you build that confidence. Number 7 is compassion. Compassion is huge, right? We've been taught all our life not to let them see you cry, not to let them show our pain or our sweat, the heartbreak, the drama. That's what you got to bring up in your story if it's applicable. Don't make it up, but don't hide that there's pain there. Because number 2 on that 4 part of your 30-second story, the pain, that's the most important part of that story. And if you don't spend a few seconds there, you're not going to be hitting them hard with your story and doing what you can do. And number 8 to build confidence is your vision. Your vision doesn't push you, it pulls you. It pulls you. So if you feel like you're pushing people, there's things that they need to do for themselves before you can help them. We must think more like entrepreneurs and have that vision than we do as employees. So, yeah, take it.
All right.
Well, Jen, do you have anything else? I don't want to, before Lisa closes.
No, I mean, there's so much to share. I'm like skimming through my notes. I'm like, I don't even know where to start and end.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but I did get some really great clips from it that I was gonna post in our team page, because there were some cool just like little takeaways and some shares that I just thought were really, really powerful. Lisa had a great question, and I got the response from that, and that was really like, touching for me. So just other cool things that I'll share, because I think other moms would appreciate it as well.
Yeah, Lisa stood up in front of the room and asked a question to Eric, and we couldn't leave that place without people coming up to her and hugging her and thanking her. It was a real raw moment that was, you'd all be very proud how open she was, and it's very real. This business is very real. So Jen, do you have that? Did you say you have that video?
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't get Lisa's question, but I got the response. So we'll preface Lisa's question, or and then yeah.
So what I want to close this out with is, obviously we're going to have some stuff for everybody, but here's an assignment. Go after New Year kickoff like your life depends on it. And if you think that you can't afford to be in that seat, let me put a scenario out there for you. For every person that you bring to an event, your business will generate $1,000 a year for the life of your event. So if you get your ticket and you get one person to come with you, you have paid for your ticket, your flight, your hotel to get to New Year kickoff in 1 year. But then you still keep getting that $1,000 a year every year for the life of your business. So if you think you can't get there, find a friend, get your friend in that seat, and you will have.
Hey, and I also, not to interrupt, but and again, this is totally on me, and I'm not recruiting for NYK like I should be, but I can't believe it's not sold out. I was just assuming that it was sold out. And I was having this conversation with Abby O'Neill on the plane. I'm like, what do you mean there's only 2,000 tickets sold? I'm like, that is crazy. And that was another big thing that, again, Eric was talking about, is yes, we are all one team, and there's a friendly way to do competition, right? And not so friendly. But at the end of the day, we all want to have a bigger piece of the pie as far as attendees at events, because events, as Lisa just shared, are what, you're going to continue to have exponential growth, right? And that $1,000 return year over year by getting people in those seats. And so anyways, that's a big thing that we'll share later around doing campaigns and recruiting for those. And yeah, something I've totally have dropped the ball on. So shame on me.
No, us too. We just assume that people are going to go, and we don't put enough emphasis on these events. And, if you don't put enough emphasis on them for your team's not going to put enough emphasis on their team, and so on and so on. And brand new people coming in are going to be like, I didn't hear about an event. It's gotta be the number one thing that's in our minds about this. And if anybody has come in on a president's pack, a value pack or an ultimate pack, you've got most of your ticket right there. Most people forget about that. If you
honestly, I don't even know if I'd be sitting here today if you did not get me into that seat, invite me, right, to Celebration. 3.5 years ago. I honestly don't know that I'd be here. And when I was going back in my mind, and I was going to go back more through my numbers strategically because I'm curious now, but when I didn't go to New Year's kickoff, like following celebration, I just, I thought I didn't have enough money for it. It was too expensive to go there. And I just went to an event. Like that was my mindset. But when I, know like the growth and see what's been happening as a result of going to the events, it's a game changer, right? And the more people in our team that have been going and so forth and sharing, but I know again, I share it with a fraction of the people that I should be. And really, I'm doing those other people a disservice and allowing them to play small and taking a decision away from them, really, and it's just, I feel, guilty, and there's no reason to feel guilt. So I have a lot of calls to make this week.
Non-negotiable, Wendy says, absolutely. If a company called you up right now and they said, I'm having a party, I need you to get 100 butts in those seats for a party, and I'm going to pay you $100,000. That's what this is. It's 100 people. It's not that difficult, right? So imagine you have 10 people, 10 of your leaders. Listen, you get 10 people, you get 10 people, you get 10 people. We work this together, you guys. This is Erica's like, why aren't you doing this? Why don't you have 500 people in those seats? Why aren't you getting rid of 500 tickets? That's 500,000 that goes in your pocket from that. Think of it like that. And the last thing that I want to say, so a change in me, I'm now going to be doing business builder packs. I'm done with value packs. I'm onto business builder packs. It is $1,200 for a business. We're sitting in a room with people who have owned business before. Many of you have had businesses or still do. To start up a business, 150, 250,000, 400,000, $500,000, 75,000, $1,200. It's more than some people spend more on a logo. We talked about, right? Jen and Lisa and I were talking like, oh my God, people spend more on a logo than to have this business. So it shifted.
Get to eat this one.
You get to eat it, right? So this shifted in me. It's how I was presenting this. And for me, it's how I was presenting this. This is my year. This is her year. And many of you, it's your year too. And it's just a decision. I'm going to leave you with this. Eric Worre said it's simply a decision. If you want to be stuck, if you want your checkbook upside down, if you want to always be a slob in your house, it's a decision to do that. But if you don't like the clothes on the floor, make the decision to put the clothes away. Make the decision to fix your checkbook, or make a decision to make that money that you wrote down on that paper. And it's just a simple decision. That's the hardest part. How you do it, that's what we have in here. But this isn't the hard stuff. The hard stuff says, I'm going to stop making excuses why I'm not on the calls. I'm going to stop excuses why I'm not at events. I'm going to stop saying, I'll get the work later. It's not going to happen for it. It's not going to happen for me if I keep doing that. So I put this out there. Jen's putting this out there. Lisa's putting this out there. If you want something different, decide to do it. And then we're all going to do this together for those that want that. For those that don't, it's not going to be your time, and that's completely okay. But we're ready.
Yeah, so I think too, assignment, New Year's kickoff ticket, number one, right? And then, we can post this on our team page, but is to make a call. And I think Eric said this, or is to make a personal phone call, or at least a voice audio. And everyone that you personally have enrolled, invite them to New Year's kickoff and share this opportunity with them.
Yeah, this is a
yeah.
Go buy your ticket right now if you haven't. Make a commitment.
So
don't wait till tomorrow. Make the commitment right now that you're going to make this different.
All right, we're over time.
Yep.
Watch the Facebook pages this week. Trust me, just watch them. Pay attention.
Oh, and really big surprise at New Year kickoff. You want to be in that room.
Oh yeah, there's a big
huge surprise. Like very, very crazy. You're gonna be your mind blown. I can't even say it.
Camera.
Okay,
right, so pay attention to your Facebook page on your team page for what's coming up this week, because we're not waiting. We're getting everything going this week. So pay attention and
peace out.
Peace out. Thank you. We love all of you. Thank you for everything everyone's done. And 2018. Yeah. Anybody got? Okay, good. Yeah. No, sorry, we don't have time for questions right now. We've got to run. But thank you all. 2018. Let's do it. Make a decision to do it. Let's do it. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.